Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. In this program called Clarity, I'm happy to be with you on one-to-one conversation. And this conversation, the major purpose is to help you to raise your self-esteem and confidence. If you have high self-esteem and confidence, then that is fine, but we can still talk. So today I'm going to talk about the importance of self-esteem in your life. However, let me begin by introducing myself. My name is Alec Muhoho. I'm based in Mombasa, Kenya, and I am a self-esteem coach, also an attitude trainer. I have had diverse background in different areas, namely journalism, both broadcast and print. I had an opportunity to also work as a PR manager in different companies, and I have vast experience in area of soft skills of human relations. Today, I am happy that I'm going to be very active in producing content every single day, because one thing I discovered is that over the years I've been writing on my journals from 1988 to now, that is 31 years. And yet I feared, or somehow, somewhere, I was not sharing this content with anybody else apart from myself. This time it's a revolutionary year for me, because I'll be sharing with you all my private content that I created to the world. One thing I discovered over time is that we do not realize how important self-esteem is. And I'm going to discuss about self-esteem. Number one, what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is the way you think and feel about yourself. The way you think and feel about yourself. The way you think and feel about yourself. That is self-esteem. How many types of self-esteem are there? There are two types of self-esteem. There is low self-esteem and high self-esteem. There is low self-esteem and high self-esteem. What is low self-esteem? Low self-esteem is the low feelings you feel about yourself. For instance, examples of low self-esteem is when you hate yourself, you despise yourself, you feel that you amount to nothing, you don't feel good about yourself. That is low self-esteem. Now, high self-esteem is feeling good about yourself. Feeling you have morale, you are excited about life. That's an example of high self-esteem. Examples of low self-esteem. Now, self-esteem, we have to look at it this way first. How do we come to have either low self-esteem or high self-esteem? Number one, we have to look at our family background. What we learned from what we would call authority figures. Those are our parents. Now, let me make a disclaimer here that not all of us were born with both parents. Some of us were born with both parents, some of us were born orphans, some of us were born in single homes, some of us even do not know who one of our parents is or both of our parents are. Now, let me explain this. A child that is born in a family of both parents it's important to realize that what a parent tells a child between the ages of 1 to 5, according to certain scientific studies, suggests that it sticks in their mind for 52 years. What a parent or parents tell their child between the ages of 1 to 5 sticks into their mind in the period of 52 years. Now, this means that if you stay with your child for 20 years, you give them a soft data that will last every 5 years. You give them software that lasts them for 52 years. Another 5 years, that's another 52 years. Another 5 years, it's 52 years. Another 5 years, it's 52 years. Now, that means that in 20 years, you would have given your child data that would run them for the next 208 years. But what is important to realize that none of us, I always ask this question in seminars, how many of you will be around in the next 208 years? And most of them say none of them will be around. But that's where they go wrong. They imagine that life is all about physical. Yeah, your life is not physical. The Bible says very clearly that what is physical is temporary and what is spiritual or invisible is internal. So going back to the subject of data. Now, this means that what you tell your children will go in the next generations to come. Imagine you stay with your child for only 20 years, and what you have taught them in the next 20 years will run them to their children's children. I've never had a school whereby parenting skills are taught. But what I know is that most of us get our parenting skills from our parents. And their parents got it from their parents, and their parents got it from their parents. So, back to the subject. What you tell a child between the ages of 1 to 5 sticks into their mind for the next 52 years. In other words, when a child is born, that child has no high self-esteem or low self-esteem. That child has no strengths or weakness. That child has no good or bad. But what this child has is just a clean slate mind, ready to be deposited from the time the child is even in the womb. So, for instance, if a parent is negative-minded and shouts at the kid or talks badly at the kid, shows no love to that kid, trust me, that kid will grow up as an adult who has low self-esteem, will grow up as an adult who has no self-confidence, will grow up as an adult who has no ability or capacity to be the best version of themselves. So the starting point is, let's go back to your childhood. When you were a child, what did your authority figures tell you? Did they tell you good words such as I love you? Did they tell you that you are great? Did they clap for you when you try to hold a cup here or help your mother to wash? Or they shouted at you, get away, you foolish, you stupid child. Now, that is who you are today. I am lucky that I grew up in a family of both parents. And I thank God for my parents. They did the best they could. My late father, indeed, was very special. He had trained us to believe in ourselves. But I also came to find out that not everybody has had a privileged background like me. But now we are here as adults, we are dealing with different people. Some people who grew up not uplifted psychologically. So now we also get our self-esteem first from our authority figures. Number two, we get our self-esteem from the schools we attended, if we did attend schools, from our teachers. Then thirdly, we get it from our peer groups. Then we get it from the media. We get it from announcements from government and perhaps the international community. If you couple all that together, it will give you a picture of the kind of information that destroys our self-esteem, or the kind of information that uplifts our self-esteem. So we are finished with part 1. As I told you, this is just testing, and I want to develop the habit of sharing with you content every single day of my life. Thank you.